Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays the Beorning, and we are here to collect some mushrooms for a hobbit for helping with the inn that they are building. And they said to worry about some slugs. Well, there's a slug right up there. A couple of slugs around. They also wanted me to kill some bears because apparently some people out there seem to like bear meat. I don't know why. But that doesn't exactly endear me to the local folk. Alright. Worry about a couple of slugs along the way. But therefore, I will not be collecting the bear meat. Oh. These slugs are a bit aggressive, aren't they? Hey, would you like to calm down? No, I don't seem to have a good way with slugs. We learn language of things like deer and bears, but slugs, that's when we don't run into them too often. Usually when I see slugs, they're nice, small, tiny little things. These aren't tiny slugs at all. Oh well. Let's see. Let's collect the rest of these mushrooms, return them to this hobbit, and then we could speak with Langlin and tell him what we found. Where are we? Ah, here's another one. Lots of mushrooms. Enough mushrooms for even a hobbit. Okay. These are pretty big mushrooms. Hey! You pick your own mushrooms! Alright, now let's see about this. Alright. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why they're being hostile. Maybe they are protecting their mushroom area. I should have thought of that. Alright, well, deed is done, so let us return to Trumrick, and see what he has to say. And after that,
a lovely day, isn't it?
Look at this bountiful fare. You certainly held your eyes end of the bargain, my friend. I shall do the same. The ovens of the inn shall smell like the finest ovens in the Shire. That will be a fine day. Yes. All right then. Oh. Want a honey cake? All right. Thank you. All right. Now. Yeah, let's make another one. For myself. Now I could get my horse back and let us head off and tell Langlin what we found. Other than a bunch of mushrooms, of course. Reports of a black rider. Something to do with an enemy's ring. And I suspect that the way they're carrying on about it, that this isn't some small trinket or anything like that. At least that's going to be my guess somehow. I don't... heard legends that rings sometimes could create some little problem.
What do you need?
The enemy's ring? It is no wonder Aragorn was so secretive as to why the enemy was seeking Baggins. If the Creban heard Fredegar's words, the enemy will now be certain that the ring is no longer in the Shire, and all will be lost. Finding those birds in the old forest will not be a simple task. I will ask you to return to Aragorn and Bree and seek his counsel on how to find those foul birds. Alright, we need to speak with Strider again. And, alright. So, we'll head down that way. Back to the inn. And I'll see you when we arrive. Here we are back with Strider.
You bring dire news.
This is dire news. While the 4 hobbits I was awaiting are safe for the moment, the protection Bree offers is fleeting at best. We must leave soon, and if the enemy's suspicions were confirmed by those Creban that what they seek is no longer in the Shire, our trip may be more perilous. Yet, the old forest is a twisting labyrinth that can lead even the most experienced tracker astray. Finding these Creban will not be easy.
Listen well.
Right. Oh, plus 15 power. Yeah, right. Useless to a Beorning, since power is not an attribute we use. There is one who can find these Creban for sure, if we were to ask him for such aid. However, he may not see our worries as his. He is known by many peoples by many names. Of old he was known as Orald of Temen, while the dwarves he was simply known as Forn. The elves called him Earwain and Benadir, oldest and fatherless. However, in these days he is known as Tom Bombadil by those few who are aware of him. Look to the old Bombadil's house, which lies to the far east end of the Withywindle, the river that flows through the old forest. He may help you if you ask him in my name, Aragorn. If you discover anything, I would ask that you address it as best you can. I wish I could help you in this task, but the safety of my charges comes before all else. One of the few quest givers that actually has a legitimate excuse for not coming along. But anyway, we must talk to the master of the old forest. Now this is level 18, so level jumps up a little bit there. So we will have to do something about that. That's always the tricky thing when you try to do the epic as much on level as possible, is that sometimes the epic decides to make a sudden jump. Now the other reason why I wasn't too worried about that 15 to 16 bit. Because I knew that was going to happen. So what I am going to do then, of course, a few side quests. Now unfortunately the quest for Odso, they don't open up until I hit level 17. Now I think that it opens up earlier if you do the quests that kill the bears, so that you can get it at 16. Just I think I'm usually 17 after killing all those bears and boars anyway. But if you're not, I think it opens up early if you do his quests, but it opens up whether or not you did those other quests if you're level 17. That's been my experience so far. So what I'm going to do is come over to this place and do a couple of quests for these guys. Assuming we don't need to kill any bears for this.
Could I speak with you a moment?
My job is to guard Bree. I don't have the men to waste patrolling the countryside, but of late I've had reports of brigand raids near and around the town, so I moved to this location to keep a closer watch. I need someone to look into these rumors, and I've coin to spare for anyone willing to help. There have always been a few outlaws in the hills and dales north of the town, but it seems that recently they've grown both more numerous and more bold. If you can find out what is going on, it would be appreciated. Careful, though. Once these outlaws would flee any armed man, but now they are more prone to attack without warning. The farm across the road seems to be overrun with brigands. You could start your investigation over there. Alright, fine. So, we'll find out what we can learn from these. And what are you up to?
By Doran's beard, won't you give me even a moment?
Hail, good fellow! I was wondering if you could help me with a bit of a problem. It seems that no sooner did I set my latest blade out to cool that someone stole it. I didn't see who made off with the sword, but I suspect it was one of those mansmiths working out of Thornley's. Their craft is nothing like dwarf craft, and likely they're jealous of my workmanship, moved one of them to steal my blade. If I were to ask you about my blade, they would just ignore me. You, though, the look of you are a great warrior. If you were to ask them about my blade, they'll be honest with you. How about it? Can you find any stolen blade? Alright. Now, the quest text says, talk to smiths of Bree. And while they have quest rings on them to say they don't have it, the main quest text, the one that says Thornley's, is the one that's correct. The quest used to be in Bree, which is why those old quest rings there and this quest text here. But really, you need to read the main quest text to know that you need to go to Thornley's rather than to Bree. Alright. And we need to kill a brigand or two. Yeah, let's see what he says about running into a bear. Alright, there you go. And next, kill a few of these and find out what they're up to. Hello, what are you up to? You're not telling. Alright. Next. Good day. Have you ever thought of stop all this? Are you with the Blackwolds? I thought we got rid of the Blackwolds. Yes. That's a strange medallion. It doesn't say anything about Blackwolds on it. No, it doesn't. Well, let's head out and let's report in. We've killed a few brigands and they have a badge of some sort, which is not something you usually find on brigands. Following me, were you?
What do you need?
Since when are outlaws able to afford such things as medallions? Even the constables don't have badges. And who is this sharky fellow anyway? This is very disturbing. Your find seems to suggest an organization that I haven't seen before in these brigands.
Could I speak with you a moment?
I have a spy among the brigands who may be helpful in divining their true nature of Sharky. I will send you a message instructing him to come to a certain hill not far from here. Meet him there and ask him about Sharky and his plans. The meeting place is a gray rock in a small strand of trees directly north of Breetown. If my spy has no news to share, we will need to find another means to learning Sharky's plans. Alright, so we need to find a spy. Strand of trees north of Bree. See. D completed. Bree-land adventurer advanced? Okay. Oh. Bree-land adventurer final bestowed. I guess that makes sense. Alright, and that means virtues! I have been forgetting about virtues. Alright. Oh, and make some bread. Alright, so we need... Alright, empathy. Well, at this point, it doesn't care which ones you do, since anything is better than nothing. And alright, so I just take the 3. I have 3 slots open and 3 virtues available. So there is absolutely nothing to decide on that. I'll read the text and decide which ones are best when I have more virtues unlocked than I have slots unlocked. Oh, it looks like a spy for...
I don't know anything, I'm sure.
We must be quick. I think they suspect something. Wait! What's the sound? Look! Here they come! Uh-oh. Oh no, they followed me. Well then, we'll have to take care of that. Well, you think you're tough, right? Well, how's that? Alright then. Thanks! I hope these notes were prepared will be helpful. I better get out of here. Till Grimbriar, and I've done my business for good. Yes, guess he is. He's not coming back. Guess he saw me turn into a bear and decided it's time to hoof it. Now that used to be a really tough quest because you used to get several of them, 3 or 4 of them I think, and then you got a second wave or something like that. And one of them was an archer, so which was real annoying. So it used to be a pretty tough quest to complete. Just working on my daily make some bread deed. And also give me plenty of bread so that when I needed it. Alright, hello there.
What do you need?
This is dire news. I suppose it was too much to expect that it would all turn out to be some minor brigand leaders' dreams of lordship. Oh, yes, right. What is in the letter? Since Sharky's men have come from the south and taken over, the local brigands have changed from being common thieves to robbers into something more like a small army. Dirty and ill-equipped though they are, by combining their numbers, they may be stronger than any of the town guards. The Bree-land brigands of past times might have been cruel and dirty outlaws, but they were still men of Bree, for the most part, with relatives in the towns and farms in the region, so they weren't all that inclined to heedless violence. But now, Sharky's men have changed everything. No dissent or squeamishness is permitted, and under their brutal fists, the brigands of the country have become far more dangerous. It seems that Sharky's men are gathering their forces for something important task, and I'm afraid they intend no simple thieving. It may be that they mean to take over all of Bree-land. I know little of these men from the south. They are almost all ill-favored brutes, but they are well-armed and skilled fighters. They do not trust the native Bree-land outlaws with their secrets, but they revere a leader they call Sharky. I am sure that Sharky is not yet in Bree-land, but it may be that he will come soon. Where do these men come from, and where is the Sharky? I do not know this for sure, but I have never traveled beyond Bree-land, and I do not know the Southlands, but these men sometimes speak of a place called Isengard. They come from beyond Adrath, maybe as far as Dunland. It seems from that they have overheard that they are rivals with some band they call the Iron Crown. But I know even less of that. Well, I should not blame you for doing what I sent you to do, though it is a pity you could not return with better tidings. I had better know our next step in this action, but a little grim task I will send you to perform. Oh. Let's see. Well, none of this is really particularly inviting, so let us take whatever is worth the most money and
Would you do something for me?
take care of that. And what is this next grim task? Well, we'll find that out in the next episode of Pineleaf Plays The Beorning.